from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Houston Oilers. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers, who invite you to stop in and see all the new Buicks now during their holiday get-together. And by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less.
What a scene set. We don't have to get geared up for tonight. We've been waiting for it for a long time. The Steelers at 11-3. The Oilers at 10-4. What a rivalry. Remember the showdown in the playoffs last year when Mike Wagner was accused of a cheap shot against Mike Barber? That's the feeling between those clubs. It wasn't a happy occasion, but it's the way it was. Frank and I did a Monday night game at Three Rivers last year, won by Houston over the Steelers. That takes some doing. And then the Steelers won here and won in the playoffs. But these are two great teams, and for the beginning of the storyline tonight, let's go to my colleague of 9 years, himself as excited as when he played at USC, Frank Gifford.
9 years, seems like only yesterday. Storyline for the Houston Oilers, I think, is quite simple. For their fans, for the team, for anyone who knows this game, that is to keep the football away from the #1 offense in the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The way you do that, you get a good rushing performance out of maybe the best running back in football today, and that, of course, is Earl Campbell. But Earl Campbell's had his problems against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are #1 in the entire league against the rush. Earl Campbell, in his attempts against Pittsburgh thus far in his 2-year career, has never been able to manage a 100-yard game. This should be quite a football game, and Fran, this is like high school, college football all wrapped into one.
Frank, this is wild. There's so much energy here tonight, and guess who's really on the spot? It's Dante Pastorini, the quarterback of the Oilers. Why? Because Houston doesn't run the ball well against Pittsburgh, and they like to give the ball to Earl Campbell at least 36% of the time to run, and he doesn't run very well against him. So Pastorini has got to throw the ball tonight. And, of course, on the other side of the fence, you've got Terry Bradshaw, who is now a truly great quarterback, having another outstanding year. So you've got to figure that he's going to be putting points on the board for the leading offensive football team of the National Football League. Okay, Frank.
We are set to go, as you can see, as we look down on the field. The Pittsburgh Steelers have won the toss. They have elected to receive. They are to your left. The Steelers 11-3. The Houston Oilers 10-4. Looking deep is Larry Anderson, a speedster. Tony Fritz will kick off for the Houston Oilers. Over 50,000 expected here tonight. There will be no no-shows. This town has been turned on like no professional city that I think that I can recall. They are fired up. A division title quite possibly on the line tonight. Tony Fritz drills it along the ground. Taken there by Grave Hawthorne, the rookie from Baylor. And Hawthorne, with a fine return, moves out over the 35 to the 37-yard line. Offensively, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're all so familiar. Terry Bradshaw, he makes it all happen. Franco Harris over 1,000 yards once again. There is your offensive line. Changes, yes. John Kolb and Jerry Mullins. Mullins, the right guard. Kolb, the left tackle, are not starting tonight, although both are able to play. Peterson starts at left tackle, 66. Curson at right guard, 77 for the world champion Pittsburgh Steelers. Ball just at the 38-yard line. Rocky Bleier in there along with Franco Harris, and this is Harris. Harris hit quickly by J.C. Wilson. Coming up, bobbles the ball, and it is collected there again by a Steeler. Heads-up play by the big center, Mike Webster, who some say is the finest center in this game today. There was a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Defensively, it'll be a 3-4, except in passing occasions. Then they will bring in additional people. We'll talk about that in a moment. Out on the right side, Robert Brazil. He's tremendous, and Mike Reinfeldt has 12 interceptions. That's 3 more than anyone in the National Football League at free safety. Through 14 games, it's 2nd down 6. Ball inside the 42-yard line. Lynn Swan is split to the right. John Stallworth, he's having a great year. Top of your screen. This is Rocky Bleier. Gets the call. Gets to the 45-yard line. Short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Rocky Bleier, who has started for the past 4 weeks after losing the starting assignment early in the year to Sidney Thornton. Thornton is back. He played a little bit last week. Did not carry the ball at all. He has a very sore ankle. So we see Rocky Bleier McGuire, of course, has represented really the true heart of the Steelers for the past 4 or 5 years. Third down, 3. Swan again right. Stallworth to the left. The tight end, a good one, Benny Cunningham. Bradshaw, protection. Swan is back there on double coverage. And Bradshaw had to let it go deep because dropping deep was Mike Reinfeldt. Back there helping his cornerback, J.C. Wilson. Incomplete, and Pittsburgh will punt.
You know, Frank, if Houston's ever going to have a chance to beat the Steelers, it might be tonight, because emotion does play a big part of the game of football, and there's emotion in this stadium tonight as they've just stopped the first Pittsburgh offensive drive.
And we'll look for the first time. Craig Colquitt is the punter. We're looking at Richard Ellender, rookie 9th-round draft pick out of McNeese State. He is back at his 10-yard line. Colquitt averaging a little over 39 yards per kick. Very accurate. Seldom puts it in the end zone. He's good on drilling it out of bounds. He angles for the sidelines. And he caught a beauty. Colquitt close to the 10-yard line from all the way back at his own 30-yard line. 45-yard punt. Let's meet the offensive unit of the Houston Oilers. Dan Pastorini, of course, the quarterback. His arm, some are still questioning. He's had problems for over a year. Earl Campbell, we don't need to tell you about him. The offensive line, a solid offensive line. They protect Pastorini. They'll have their hands full tonight against the Steelers. And Bum Phillips, he who has brought personality, charm, and humanity back to the football game. He is one decent human being and a fine football coach. First and 10. Oilers at their own 10-yard line. We're just underway in case you just joined us. Campbell gets the call right side and just bowls over Steelers. They had a hole closed, and Campbell gets out close to a 5-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 5. And defensively, this will shuffle around. Banaszak and Dunn will alternate with Furness and White. Those are familiar names. Robert Cole good against the run. He'll come out against the pass, perhaps, and we'll see Lauren Taves. And the secondary with J.T. Thomas, a free safety, playing for an injured Mike Wagner, a position not too unfamiliar to Thomas because he started there for the past few weeks since Wagner's been hurt. Second down, we'll call it 6. The ball just short of the 15-yard line. Campbell gets the call again, gets the block by Wilson, gets out close to a first down, might be a little short, out near the 20-yard line. It will be 3rd down short.
The thing to remember about Campbell is something that Fran has already touched upon. The most he's ever gained rushing against the Steelers is 66 yards in a game. He's off to a big start tonight with 9 yards and 2 rushes. His past does not necessarily influence his present tonight.
That's what Campbell averages, 103 plus per game. Pittsburgh defense, they don't give up that much. 3rd down, about a yard. Campbell with exceptional speed, he gets to the outside. Thomas takes him out of bounds. First down, Houston. And Houston will have their first down out over their 20-yard line. First down, 10. Ball inside the 22-yard line. Play action, and it's a reverse to Mike Barber, the tight end. And Barber drilled out of bounds at the 30-yard line, but not before a sizable pickup. Give him 6, it'll be 2nd down and 4, and let's look at him isolated.
As you look at him isolated, you know all these players by now. They're as familiar to you as household words. And Fran, as you look at Mike there, you realize all over again, you use him on a reverse because he is a super all-around athlete. And for him, there is the memory of the Mike Wagner incident of last year. So he's got a very special motivation. Frank?
At the 28-yard line, Houston, 2nd down, 4. A wingback set. Campbell gets the call. Taken there over on the left side defensively. Donnie Shell was up there quickly to help out Joe Green. Short of the first down, 3rd down, long 2.
Frank, is kind of like an old single wing as you fans watch the formation of the Houston Oilers as we have an injured player on the field, Jack Ham. And that would be a very, very terrible loss for the Steelers. What a great football player he's been. He has been an all-pro for many years. Great against the pass and against the run. And we'll be back in just a minute.
For an injured Robin Cole and Lauren Taves, Winston will be in an unfamiliar spot. He's better at middle linebacker, but he has to move to the outside. 3rd down, 2. Campbell First down, and this is what the Oilers want to do after the 34-yard line. Robin Cole on the stop.
Frank, there are some people who believe because Pittsburgh and Houston are already securely in the playoffs that some motivation might have left this game. Forget it. At least for the Houston Oilers, the motivation is supreme. They want the division title. And they want to prove tonight they can beat this Pittsburgh team whom they so strongly dislike.
On the 1st and 10, Casper lines up in the wingback position. This will be the first pass for Houston thus far. And it's going deep for Kenny Burrow. Defensively back there, a very nice play by Ron Johnson, who came in last year as a #1 draft pick out of Eastern Michigan. He has been a strong performer.
All right, this is really some play by Ron Johnson. Watch Kenny Burrow, terrific speed, maybe 9.3, 9.400. Ron Johnson running stride for stride, has the athletic ability to jump up and bat the ball away at the same time. Many defensive backs can get in that position, Howard, and not make the play. Ron Johnson made the play.
Kenny's gesture, as we look at Ham being examined, Kenny's gesture did exactly what it was designed to do, produce an outcry from the fans, but clearly a clean and fine defensive play by Ron Johnson.
We'll try and get a report that was encouraging. I hate to put it that way, but they were looking at Jack Ham's ankle. 2nd down 10. Campbell, right side, piled up there. Defensively is number 53, Dennis Winston, a third-year man out of Arkansas. Good against the run, very good against the run, questionable against the pass. And Joe Green, he's playing solid as ever. Maybe not the pass rusher that it was when he came up 11 years ago, but he's strong against the run. Let's look.
There's Joe Green. You see, just wading through the offensive blockers. There's nobody that's ever played the game that plays the run any better than Joe Green does and has.
It was a gain of about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Rob Carpenter's in there, number 26. He's a good receiver. Campbell is out. Pastorini back. There's the time. Fires and it's complete. Barber the tight end. First down inside the 45-yard line of Pittsburgh.
I must say, in this early going, as these fans go absolutely wild, I must say that Pastorini looks like he's ready.
And he goes to the right guy because they're double coveraging on the outside receivers. You'll see Barber come off. Donnie Shell is playing in almost a linebacker position, trying to cover him one-on-one. He doesn't do it. Barber makes the play. Good play selection of who to go to by Pastorini and going to Barber because the outside guys were double covered.
And it took some time. The offensive line of the Oilers protected against the Steelers. They've sacked quarterbacks 46 times this year at the Steelers. 1st and 10. The ball at the 44-yard line. Tim Wilson. Wilson right side. Big hole, but he's nailed and bombed there by Lambert, who is having a great year for Pittsburgh, leading all the linebackers with interceptions. And he is, as we've discussed, Howard, Stanislavski method player.
And he still thinks quarterbacks should wear skirts. Under any circumstances, pick out 4 truly great players on that Pittsburgh defense. Lambert, Ham, Donnie Shell, and of course, Mel Blount, who can still do it. The soul of it, Green.
On 2nd and 8 from the 41-yard line, Earl Campbell tries the middle. Maybe gets a yard. Piled up there. Lambert again over the top. Green on the bottom along with L.C. Greenwood. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Frank, we come to a 3rd down situation. A pretty obvious passing situation for Pastorini here. I think the keys to Pastorini in this situation will be to look for either the tight end or one of the 2 running backs. Those are his best bets. And you got Jack Ham out of there on pass defense. It'll be interesting to see how the linebackers react without Ham in there.
Changes for Pittsburgh. Anticipating the pass. Houston has used half of the first quarter thus far. 3rd down, 7. Pressure. Pastorini gets it off. It could have been caught by Barber for a first down. It's incomplete. We'll see the punting team. Great seeing Greenwood in there pressuring on Pastorini.
All right, here goes Barber again. He goes to the right. Pastorini's going to go to the right guy. He's going to have to evade the rush by Greenwood. There's Barber working on Donnie Shell again. Pastorini scrambling right now. He runs the same pattern he did a minute ago. Should have caught this ball. Should have caught the ball. Pretty good throw. Could have been out in front a little bit more, but he was under pressure from Greenwood.
He beat a great man in Donnie Shell, I'll tell you that.
Not bad distraction on the part of Donnie Shell there also. Parsley to punt for Houston. T.E. Bell. Theo Bell is back. They'll try to anticipate with Parsley which side of the field he'll be kicking to. Arsley angles. And he catches it inside the 15, close to the 13-yard line. So whereas Houston began their offense at their 10-yard line, we will see Pittsburgh now on 1st and 10 from their 13 when we come back.
Want to play
3 Super Bowl championships, put together team of players that have never played for, not one player in this roster has played for another team. The Steelers, 1st and 10. Ball inside the 14. Bradshaw on 1st down. Has the time. Open is Cunningham. Cunningham over midfield. Down to the 45-yard line.
Now that's the very thing Fran and I were talking about during the commercial break. In Pittsburgh's only prior series, he had the confidence in his defense to throw deep to Lynn Swann and discovered that Houston was going to do what Pittsburgh is doing. Double-double on the wide receivers. Ergo, you go to your tight end or to your backs. And immediately he went to the tight end, Benny Cunningham, who with his size and the mold of Russ Francis and Dave Casper can become a consequential figure in this game. Frank?
1st and 10 inside the 46-yard line of the Oilers. Rocky Blyer. Good defensive play there. Blyer got a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Jack Ham has gone to the locker room. We are informed X-rays on his left foot. Ball at the 44-yard line. Bradshaw. Cunningham. He had a lot of time. Cunningham picked up by Vernon Perry, a rookie to the NFL, but a very highly respected Canadian Football League player for the past 2 years. Look again.
All right, here goes Bradshaw back in the pocket. Looking left, you'll see Vernon Perry, a defensive back on Cunningham here. That's because they have 5 defensive backs in the football game at this time. They'll try to put Perry man-on-man with Cunningham and hope he can cover him, just as we saw Donnie Shell man-on-man with Mike Barber.
Yeah, right. Vernon Perry did a fine job on Cunningham then. Bradshaw had all the time he would ever want. And it was a great play by Perry. It's 3rd down and 8.
Watch the backs here.
Is it good? Yes, it is. Lynn Swann gets a 1st down inside the 35-yard line, close to the 33. Vernon Perry trying to stay with this gifted young man.
Well, of course, you're looking at one of the most remarkable athletes in football, Fran.
Maybe the most gifted wide receiver that's played the game in the last 10 or 12 years. They had a deep help with him back there to run the pattern. Watch him come off the field, driving the defensive back down the field, makes the cutout. That's his responsibility to cover him short, and Lynn Swann still beat him. Remarkable play by Swann. Good throw by Bradshaw.
Swann knew exactly where he had to be to get the 1st down. He collects it at the 34-yard line. Harris, inside handoff. Harris goes down. Not until he gets 3 yards. Hit there by Art Stringer. Defensively for the Oilers.
I love the point Fran made about the maturation of Terry Bradshaw. When he plays a bad game, as you look at the tiny Steeler contingent of fans down here with Myron Cope's terrible towels, but watching Bradshaw, he knows when to go to the run. He knows when to go to the pass. When he has a bad game, as he did against San Diego, he says simply, I stunk. I didn't adjust.
Marked inside the 30, 2nd down 6. Harris, same play, up the middle. Harris again with the yardage. Close to the 27-yard line, short of the 1st down. It'll be one of those questionable downs, about 3rd and 3. Do you run or do you pass?
I wouldn't count on a pass.
3rd down, long 3.
See what I mean?
Harris, short of the 1st down.
I think he listened to you, unfortunately, Howard, because he should have thrown it.
No. He's in 2-down territory, and now he's got the last. I don't think Chuck's going to even go for the field goal here, despite the presence of a very good field goal kicker.
I think he has, Chuck Noll has a little more than he thinks he has. It's a good, sizable yard, but he brings in his other tight end, Randy Grossman.
It's interesting.
There's Matt Barr, the place kicker, who would have been brought into action, I think, by most coaches. But it also shows the confidence Noll has in the #1 offense in the league. 4th, a long 1. Grossman in motion. Blyer gets the call. They will not get the 1st. Chuck Noll gambles 4th and a little more than a yard. Houston emotionally inspired, comes up with a great play, and this crowd loves it. They'll be returning to the Astrodome in just a moment.
Buick.
First and 10, Pastorini brings them up. The ball at the 24-yard line, 3:20 remaining in the first quarter, no score. Rich Castor in motion. Campbell. It's a block out in front by Wilson, but it does not take care of Mel Blount, and Blount takes Campbell out of bounds. And Campbell, by the way, is wearing a special pad for an injured thigh, Howard, that troubled him at the beginning of the year. And it's the same fellow who made it.
Well, as
Black Bass for Pastorini a year ago.
As Bum Phillips said last night, at a remarkable dinner where this latter-day Will Rogers was honored in the name of cystic fibrosis, Earl Campbell and Dan Pastorini play hurt. And they do.
Campbell squeezed out a yard and a half. It'll be second down and 8. The ball just over the 25-yard line. Campbell gets the call again. Piled up after maybe a yard. It'll be third down and 7.
Frank, I think it's interesting to note that Houston has had the ball 14 offensive plays this first quarter. Earl Campbell has carried the ball on 9 of those 14 plays. Now, normally he'll carry the ball 36% of the time on offense, but they're going to work the big man tonight and hope to win with him.
Ball inside the 28-yard line. Campbell comes out. They bring in Rob Carpenter, 26, Ronnie Coleman, 47. They're better receivers, quite frankly, than Campbell. And they don't like Campbell, whom Fran just indicated. They work so hard to be running pass patterns. They put too much burden on him. Third and 7. Pastorini has the time. The man is open. Coleman has the first down. Out to the 43-yard line.
That's exactly the point that Frank made. Coleman, an all-purpose football player. A good enough runner, but an excellent receiver. Not as big as Tony Galbraith of New Orleans. Probably not as good, but still very functional.
And Pastorini is running his team very well. He's been hurt all year. He made a point of his being injured this year, Howard, and he has. He's got some criticism here in Houston because he hadn't thrown as much, but he is playing a good football game so far tonight.
Kenny Burrow, bottom of your screen, 00. The gifted receiver is also playing hurt tonight. Very severely bruised tailbone on first and 10. Wilson gets the call, and Wilson breaks tackles inside Pittsburgh territory, close to the 49, short of a first down by about a yard and a half. Dennis Winston finally pulled Tim Wilson, who principally is one of the fine blockers you see in this game today, but also he can run.
And he doesn't get to carry the ball much. You'll see just man-on-man blocking. He gets rid of the tackle by Furness there, 64, and breaks out for, what, an 8-yard gain. You keep hammering and hammering away, and finally something gives.
I love the blocking of Karl Mark, number 55 on that play. Frank?
Second and 2. The ball inside the 49-yard line of the Steelers. No score. 1:17 remaining in the first quarter. This is Campbell. Wilson with a good block. Our first flag is down as Wilson is down at the line of scrimmage, or rather Campbell down at the line of scrimmage. Our referee tonight, Jerry Markbright. And we are 1:10 away from the end of the first quarter. This is our first flag. And it goes against Houston, illegal motion. A decision now for the Steelers.
That is a tough penalty for the offensive team, good penalty for the defensive team. When you've got 2nd and 2, you got things going your way. But now it's going to be 2nd and 7, a little more difficult.
I can't believe they will not accept this penalty. Clearly they will. In the meantime, going back to Chuck Noll, electing to go for the first down rather than the field goal.
Offense, 2nd down.
It bespoke again Noll's confidence in his defense as well as his offense, Fran.
You're right.
2nd and 7.
But Howard, were you surprised he gave the ball to Blyer instead of Franco Harris?
Yes, I would have given it to Harris, but that's easy to second guess.
Burrow is left, top of your screen. That's Castor. He's been lining up. He's in the game with Mike Barber, playing almost like a tight end, but there is a wingback. Pastorini dumps it off. First down, Burrow. He holds on at the 44-yard line, and Houston, with a scramble on the part of Pastorini, gets the first. Out of time here in the first quarter as we look at the replay.
All right, here's Earl Campbell faking again. He went back and told Pastorini that he was open on this play. He is wide open. Pastorini comes back and hits him. That's what offensive players have to do. Come back and help your quarterback out. Help him call the game. And I think that's why quarterbacks should be calling the plays instead of having him send him from the sideline. We'll be back in just a minute.
For America and for sports.
Second down 3, the Oilers, as we begin the second quarter. They're in Pittsburgh territory at the 38-yard line. Wilson gets the call. Wilson gets the first down to the 32-yard line. And the big man, 3-year man out of Maryland, 6'3", 220, who usually spends his season blocking for Earl Campbell, has picked up big yardage already tonight.
You are seeing pro football at its very best tonight. Two truly exceptional teams. Quarterbacks performing beautifully, the defenses executing even though there are gains being made. And next Monday night, the showdown. The Chargers in the playoffs. But if Denver can win, they're in too.
Campbell is out. Rob Carpenter is in, number 26. This is Carpenter, left side, at the 30-yard line, piled up. Gain 2.5, 3 yards. Campbell looked to the sidelines, oddly, on 1st and 10. Stays on the sidelines now. Is not limping.
Frank, needless to say, this is a very important drive for the Houston Oilers. They're not the defending world champions like the Pittsburgh Steelers are. They need a confidence builder. They've had a good drive. They've had a couple of good surges before this. If they could get this in for a touchdown, it would give them a tremendous lift.
They're lining up in a wing-back offense. Castor's the wing-back. Wilson gets the call. Down to the 27-yard line, short of the first down. It'll be third down and a long 3. Call it 3rd and 4.
That's Franco Harris eager to get back into the action. But I must say, Fran, that Pastorini is moving his team beautifully. He's completed 4 of 6 in passing, all 4 completions to different receivers. He's working the run when he should, and not necessarily now using Earl Campbell every time.
Important play for this young man, Dan Pastorini. Third down 4. The ball at the 27-yard line. The Oilers work the clock for 11 minutes thus far in the game. This is Rob Carpenter. Good defensive play. Ron Johnson coming up defensively. And this will be a fourth down where you'll see Tony Fritsch.
And what an act he is. He's an act all in himself. From Vienna, Austria.
He still hates the Cowboys because of an assistant coach who didn't like side wheelers. He regards kicking a field goal not just as a personal challenge, but as a kind of holy right. And he is obviously affronted whenever he misses one.
He has won 4 games for the Oilers this year, 2 in overtime. This will be a 44-yard attempt. His long of the year, 51 yards, well within his range. He's 17 of 20. Tony Fritsch. Ito, whether Gifford Nielsen is holding. Low line drive, and it does not get through the uprights. And the Steelers will take over the football at the 27-yard line. 12-15. We still have no score in a very exciting game from Houston. And Terry Bradshaw leads his Chargers up. 1st and 10, the ball at his own 27-yard line. Whistles blew as the ball was snapped.
Yeah, the left guard of the Steelers jumped. That was Sam Davis, 57.
Number 57, offense.
Tell you again about the revision in that offensive line. John Kolb, highly underrated left tackle for the Steelers, did not start tonight. Ted Peterson was in there. Kolb with a pinched nerve in his neck.
False start, number 57, offense, first down.
And at right guard, Jerry Mullins, also with a pinched nerve in his neck, did not start tonight. Steve Person is in there.
Good point about Kolb, though, Frank, because he has always handled Elvin Bethea very well.
1st and 15. Bradshaw, the athlete, throws the interception to Stringer. Art Stringer, first turnover of the game, and returns it to the 22-yard line. Art Stringer, who they say is good on pass. He was out for several games, missed 6 of them at the beginning of the year. They had to play a rookie there, and Art Stringer comes up with the first turnover.
All right, here's Bradshaw going back in the pocket. He's getting pressure from Bethea there. Howard mentioned the Kolb handles, but his replacement didn't. I don't know where he was throwing this ball. I didn't see a Steeler receiver anywhere near the ball. But Stringer, he hit him right between the 5 and the 3, and he puts Houston in awfully good field position.
Well, Stringer's absence hurt Houston terribly, no question about it. He's an all-over-the-field linebacker. Great range, great ability.
And the point is, Howard, Houston leads the league in interceptions. They've intercepted now 33 balls for the year.
And Pittsburgh leads the league in turning it over. That was the 47th turnover for the Steelers. On first down, Campbell, who missed the last series for no apparent reason, struggles for a yard and a half. It'll be second down and call it 9.
And good phrase you slipped in there, Frank, for no apparent reason. One had to wonder why Earl was out since he walked off without any apparent injury.
But one thing there, here Pittsburgh needed to play, and guess who made the play for no gain? Joe Green.
Joe Green, who, like Willie Stargell with the Bucks, remains the soul of the Pittsburgh defense.
Absolutely right.
Burrow to the right. Rich Caster split far to the left. Top of your screen. Barber in the slot. The handoff. Campbell met by the big man, Jack Lambert.
Did you see
Gain of about a
Lambert?
yard. It'll be third down and 7.
Did you see Lambert in there, Giff?
Well, I think what we're seeing here, Houston is intent upon still running the ball. As you look at Jack Lambert there, now 27 years old and a aged, mature veteran. They're going to have to throw the ball against this football team. Pastorini's got to put up in the air to get points on the scoreboard, and I'm sure he'll do it right here, and we'll see if he can be successful.
Mike Renfro, great name in football. Father Ray played with the Browns, split out to the right, out to the left. Kenny Burrow, the tight end, is Mike Barber on third and 7. Flag is down. The ball goes out to Carpenter. Carpenter struggles to get close to a first down.
Frank, we got
two flags are down now.
I think this is going to be a very difficult penalty against Houston, judging by where the flag was thrown, an old saw that you've heard 32 million times, and it could hurt their field goal chance.
You're going to have a holding penalty and a clipping penalty. They'll take the clip, which will be 15 yards.
You're right. Francis, you're alive.
I'm right on it.
Tough call against the Houston Oilers. They got the big turnover from Stringer. Good field position. Came up short on 2 running plays on third down passing situation. And they get 2 fouls. Referee Jerry Markbright making sure that Jack Lambert, acting defensive captain, has the options clear in his head. Important game. The Steelers with a win tonight can wrap up the Central Division of the AFC. Should Houston win tonight, it'll all come down to next week. If they both end up in a tie, 12 and 4, it'll go down to total points within the division, and that's complex.
It has been said that there are no longer, let's listen to the officials' call, there are no longer any great teams in this league. Parity has been achieved.
Holding number 70, offense, decline. Personal foul, clipping number 47, offense, accepted, third down.
Well, Fran told it like it was before it ever was. But if in truth there are no longer any great teams, you're looking at 2 clearly of the 3 best teams in football. Steelers have lost 3, Houston 4, San Diego 4.
Third down 20. That's not fun against the Steelers. They turn it all loose.
They're coming.
They're coming. Pastorini reads it, and Mike Renfro cannot hold on, but the flags are down as Ron Johnson was all over Mike Renfro. Renfro came off knee surgery a year ago. He's just got back into stride the past few weeks. Not blazing speed, but a lot of nice moves and good hands.
Blunt is enraged. Feels the call was wrong, but it doesn't matter.
Defensive pass interference, number 29, first down.
It did look awful close. Pastorini reads it immediately, looks up. He knows he's going to go to Renfro. Watch 29, does he or doesn't he?
Yes, he does. That's a good call. Good call by the official. And really, if you're a veteran quarterback with that kind of long yardage to go, Giff, you want to see the blitz because it gives your man one-on-one, the defensive back. That's a piece of cake.
The first down at the 17-yard line. Still no score. 10:31 remaining in the first half. Bitterly fought game. Wilson gets the call. Tries to go outside. Gets away from one Steeler. Joe Green drops him with help from J.T. Thomas. After he picks up a couple, it'll be second down and 8. Give him 3. We'll call it second and 7.
This year, anybody can lose to Cleveland and Brian Sight.
Third and 7 at the 13-yard line. Campbell will try to get outside of Blunt, and he's corralled and bulldogged by Blunt. Taken at about the 12-yard line.
Right there, you saw why I called Mel Blount still great. He can do it all. Give him a critical moment, he will be where the ball is. He is a great one-on-one tackler, as he proves here in felling pro football's greatest runner, with help from the other great one, Donnie Shell, who hits like a linebacker.
Gain of a yard. Call it 3rd and 6. Actually, pretty close to no gain, but it'll put Dan Pastorini in definite passing situation.
And I bet they don't blitz this time.
You're right.
Over the middle, incomplete, intended for the tight end, Mike Barber, and we'll see Tony Fritz again.
I think there Dan fell prey to over-anxiety, Fran.
Well, he might have. I didn't really like the series of calls. It looked like to me they were intent upon settling for a field goal. They ran the ball 2 straight times, threw it on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and 7 down in that part of the field is very difficult.
Tony Fritz, we saw him earlier when he scored all 9 points for the Oilers in their win over Miami. He'll line it up again. He's a lot of fun to watch. He began that career back in San Diego, matter of fact. 4 years at Dallas. He's the traffic director. 30-yard attempt. Gifford Nielsen, the quarterback. You always have to have considerations when your holder is a quarterback. There it is. And they blew it. That should be an incomplete pass. It is. I don't quite understand that one either. Incompleted pass. Gifford Nielsen tried to shuffle it forward, and the Steelers will have the football at their 13-yard line. And a 30-yard attempted field goal. Easy pickings. As it was, Gifford Nielsen tried to shuffle pass to Ted Thompson. Incomplete. The Steelers have the football. Still no score. 1st and 10. The Steelers at their 13-yard line. Franco Harris. And defensively, Greg Stimrick up there to take Franco Harris for a loss all the way back to the 10-yard line.
Now you just saw Greg Stemrick make a tackle, and there you see his background. Greg Stemrick doesn't get the big publicity. It's Reinfeldt playing deep, who has the 12 interceptions. But that man, Stemrick, as you look at Mean Joe Green, Stemrick is probably the most solid player in the defensive secondary that Houston has.
Loss of 3, 2nd down 13, ball at the 10-yard line. Draw play, Rocky Blair, right side, nailed. Good defensive play, Andy Doris, the defensive left end, strong against the run. 7:38 remaining in the half, and there is no score. An interesting football game, both teams gambling, and both teams missing. Bradshaw has the time, no receiver, and he almost gets another one picked off by Robert Brazil. 4th down, Pittsburgh will punt. Not had a punt blocked in his 2 years in the game. You're looking at Ellender, the rookie from Monique State. He's right at midfield. Houston, barring anything unforeseen, should have good field position. Colquitt with a fine punt. He hangs it high, gives his unit time to get under it. And hustling down there was Zach Valentine, the rookie, outstanding rookie from East Carolina. But a 45-yard punt by Colquitt from his own end zone. 7:16 remaining in the half.
No, it's not college football, it's pro football. In the city that has given us the greatest Monday night football game ever, and has the greatest, the most alive fans in the whole league.
Midway through the 2nd quarter, no score, 1st and 10, midfield, the ball batted away, L.C. Greenwood, 6'7", 250 pounds over the left side, incomplete, it'll be 2nd down 10. Greenwood leading the Steelers, who have 46 sacks. They're a team defense because he only has 7 sacks. He had troubles early in the year, Fran, and he is starting to play again.
He really has. And this man, 68 L.C. Greenwood, blocks more passes than any defensive lineman that I've ever seen.
Like trying to throw over a building. Houston's had the football. They moved up and down the field. They eschewed the field goal, a 30-yard attempt a while ago. Came up short, and they're battling now from midfield. 2nd and 10. Campbell on the play action. Pastorini back. And almost picked off. Intended for Mike Barber. Back still, no score, 7:07. Renfro, split to the right, number 82. Burrow out top of your screen, 00. Carpenter, 26. Coleman, 47. Coleman in the slot. Donnie Shell on the blitz, and he gets Pastorini back at the 37-yard line. Donnie Shell coming from his strong safety spot on the blitz.
That's my guy. Does he hit like a linebacker, Fran?
Well, I think the interesting thing, Pittsburgh got burned on the blitz once before. They came back and had the confidence to do it again. They even safety blitzed this time, and they won this battle.
You talk about getting burned on a blitz defense. Look what happened to Oakland yesterday when Mike Pruitt sprung one for 77 yards after a trap block. You'll see it in the halftime highlight.
L.C. Greenwood, he had the wind knocked out of him. He'll be back. You saw Cliff Parsley. This is T. Bell. He's standing at the 21-yard line. Parsley just under 41-yard average on his punts for the Houston Oilers. Parsley, beautiful kick. T-Bell from his 15-yard line. And good coverage as Bell gets back out to the 23-yard line. 45-yard punt by Parsley. And Pittsburgh will have a little better field position from whence to operate, and they've had trouble getting any offense moving at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they lead the league in offense.
I think that's a good point about field position. It's got to be frustrating, Howard, for the Oilers. They've had good field position. They've had opportunities. They've blown them all. The Steelers really haven't had good field position the entire night.
Good point.
They lead the league in scoring, 371 points. They have a goose egg on the scoreboard here at the Astrodome with 6:23 remaining in the first half. Stallworth split to the left. He of the 63 receptions. Open. It was Randy Grossman, and Bradshaw overthrew.
Just plain overthrow. You're right. And he knows it.
Receiver. Both those tight ends, Benny Cunningham and Randy Grossman, good receivers. 2nd and 10. Bradshaw, I believe, could be feeling just a little bit of frustration. But Stallworth out to the left again. Lynn Swan off a big game last week. 5 receptions. Bradshaw changing up. Bradshaw could not find a receiver. Down he goes. Andy Doris defensively. And he had a lot of friends in the losses all the way back to the 12-yard line, or the 17-yard line.
It's a sprint out to the right. He's looking to his right. Everything is jammed up. Nobody's open. He's looking at a dangerous thing way across the field. He waits too long. Andy Doris nailed it.
And you're right. That would have been a dangerous pass, the kind that can give away a touchdown. And Andy Doris, another who doesn't get a lot of publicity, is a fine, fine football player. His development, part of Houston's development, and a significant part.
Loss of 7. 3rd and 16. The ball at the 17. Bradshaw has had 1 interception. Was almost picked off again in a similar situation a moment ago. Blair has the ball short of the first down, and a flag is down.
Frank, interesting decision here. That's going to be a holding penalty, I would imagine. Houston could really put them in a hole by accepting the holding penalty. Let's see if they do.
The decision, of course, whether or not to force them to punt from the 22 or back them up inside their own 10-yard line. That will be the option.
Number 57, offense, declined, 4th down.
Houston wants the football. That means we'll see Craig Colquitt and Richard Ellender, the rookie from Indiana State. Ellender looking upfield as he positions himself at the 38-yard line of the Oilers. 5:34. No score. Game in which Pittsburgh, if they could win, would win the Central Division of the AFC. Colquitt drives Ellender to the 28. And good defensive play. Larry Anderson hustling down there. And Houston now will begin at their 26-yard line when we return to the Astrodome in just a moment. Said there is no way. 2 explosive teams, particularly the Steelers. They have been frustrated offensively. Houston has the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. Pastorini, screen, Campbell, look out. Campbell gets the first down out over the 40-yard line. J.T. Thomas there defensively.
I want to tell you something about Bum Phillips as we look at this again.
All right, it's the same fake we saw a while ago. Instead of Campbell going straight up the field, he screens out to the left. When you get him the ball in the open field like this, he is double, triply, quadruply dangerous.
There's Bum Phillips. He benched Mo Towns, who went out of the Cleveland game with an injury, but could have played. Put in Conway Heyman and David Carter, hand-tooted by Joe Bugle out of Western Kentucky. Here's Frank.
Here's Campbell. Gets a couple on his own. It'll be second down and 8.
Joe Bugle is a great assistant coach.
40 and the clock is moving, remaining in the half as Pastorini changes it off. Campbell left side defensively there. Gary Dunn first. And Campbell just by sheer strength carries him for a yard, and a flag goes down. Being restrained defensively. Carl Mock.
These two teams do not love one another. Karl Mock was cute at the cystic fibrosis dinner last night. He said, I don't have a friend in Dallas. Because Houston is sick and tired of hearing Dallas described as America's team, which is understandable. 3 times Dallas has played AFC teams. Pittsburgh won, Houston won, Cleveland won. 3 times Dallas has lost. Mock says, I've had enough.
3rd and 5. Carpenter short of the first down at midfield. They've also been to 5 Super Bowls.
That's true, but they're in the other league. And the score is 34-14, the AFC.
Howard, I think Bum Phillips had an interesting quote a few weeks ago. He said the Dallas Cowboys may be America's team, but the Houston Oilers are Texas' team, and that's better.
On the 4th down, we'll see Parsley once again. T-Bell drops for the Steelers. Back to his 14-yard line. Neither team effective much this year returning punts. T-Bell a little over 7-yard average on his returns. Parsley has kicked the ball well tonight. This one he doesn't turn over, and T-Bell takes a chance at the 14-yard line. Carter Hartwig was down there defensively, the rookie from USC for the Houston Oilers.
He really did take a chance, Frank.
To remind you again, tonight and every night, as long as the situation in Iran remains critical, ABC News will present a special report every night after your late local news. And ABC News will keep you up to date on the Iranian situation, all the news, weeknights on World News Tonight. And I don't have to tell you the superb coverage we've been offering if you have been following that telecast. 1st and 10, the Steelers, and they have to be feeling a little frustrated as they start again deep in their own territory. Handoff, Franco Harris. He struggles on his own out to the 17, a gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Stallworth placed left by Bradshaw. Lynn Swan, top of your screen. Benny Cunningham is the tight end. Rocky Blair. Time expired, and that will further frustrate the Steelers.
And that will further frustrate and outrage Chuck Noll.
And here's 100. Bradshaw has the time, but again, no receivers open. Scrambles and gets it off to Swan. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. That's it. Out to the 18-yard line.
Frank, it was an interesting play there. You saw Bradshaw get away with the rush, which he can do so easily, it seems like. He was a great runner. But this year, as we see the 2-minute warning coming, he really hasn't run as much as in the past. He's only run the ball 18 times this year for only 53 yards. He's many times will rush 3 times that amount for 300 or so yards.
Ball brings his troops up. 3rd down, 7. Ball at the 18-yard line. Out to the left is Stallworth, who has not caught a pass tonight. He's caught 63 on the season. Over the middle, Randy Grossman has a first down out over the 35. Taken there by Vernon Perry.
You know, Frank, I know Randy Grossman is one of your favorite players in the league because of his honesty. They're lining up quickly, so we're going to go to Frank. But it's a point I want to make. Frank was the guest of honor at an MS dinner in Pittsburgh. We'll get to it in a moment.
The hurry-up offense, the 2-minute offense. Bradshaw over the middle, intended for Grossman again, picked off Brazil. Robert Brazil lumbering downfield at the 25-yard line with 1:22 on the clock. And Houston has 3 timeouts.
Look at this crowd. Brazil is now down. And just as we were going to tell you about Randy Grossman, because he knows he's not the player with the physical assets of Cunningham, Frank loves him because he's got the most out of what he's got to give. Now, Bradshaw has just made another serious mistake. Noel talking it over with him. Look at it again.
You watch Bradshaw go back. If he's got a weakness, it's that he throws into the double coverage much too much. He's thrown into the heart of the coverage here. He had Franco Harris open the flat. You see Brazil make the interception, and you're going to watch a big collision with Brazil right here just as he comes to the end of the road.
Right with Sam Davis. Ooh. And Brazil still remains on the AstroTurf at the 25-yard line. Now he's coming up on his feet. You'll hear an ovation because he's not only a great football player, he is a very popular player here in Houston, and he sprints off the field.
Look at them. The blue, ice blue pom-poms waving. Brazil coming off the field. You couldn't find a better atmosphere anywhere, intercollegiately or professionally, for a football game.
3 timeouts for Houston. The ball, 25-yard line. Yes, Frank.
All right, Frank, I think the call here is he's got to pass the ball. Maybe a play pass action. The run has got him nowhere. He's got a chance to score. He's got to open it up.
Trying to run against the best running defense in the league today has been fairly ineffective. Going for Burrow. Touchdown. Kenny Burrow. They told us he would not start. Could play. He has a very sore tailbone, injured a couple of weeks ago. He scores for Houston suddenly. And Fran Pastorini had some zip on that ball.
Well, I do believe now his arm as well. This is an absolute great throw. He's got good protection, as you see. He had to put the ball on the line. He did. You see 2 defensive backs are going to be sandwiching Burrow. The ball gets in. Burrow concentrates on the ball, makes the catch. Great throw by Pastorini for the touchdown.
And the other big part of this story, this remarkable crowd with their cards being held up, Love Your Blue, and any minute maybe the Houston fight song. It seemed almost inevitable the way Houston's been playing.
Tony Fritz, conversion. Good. Oilers on top, 7-0. For the Oilers, they're trying to draw to a tie with Pittsburgh tonight.
All right, we're behind Pastorini here. Watch, he doesn't have much room down there to throw the ball, but he gets it into Burrow. Burrow slowed up a tad to get himself in position to catch the ball, and he did. Great concentration by 00.
Boy, there he is. He's been around 10 years.
And his back hurts.
That was his 42nd career touchdown, and I told you about that severely bruised tailbone. He was even questionable tonight.
Another interesting, oh, look at that crowd. Here's the fight song. Listen.
The carnival atmosphere. Tony Fritz will kick off deep. Larry Anderson for Pittsburgh, not anticipating a deep kick. Fritz doesn't get it into the end zone very often. Nor will he now. Anderson from the 3. And Anderson is met at the 24-yard line, goes down. The flag also goes down. Ted Thompson defensively there, number 51, in on the stop. And the Oiler players are telling us that it's going to go against the Steelers, clipping, and that'll back them up.
So they're still in terrible field position, Fran, as they've been throughout the entire first half.
They'll put the ball on the 12-yard line, 11-yard line. It's a tough situation to quarterback.
No foul, blocking below the waist, number 63 on the run back. First down.
Tom Dornbrook. He was the guilty stealer.
It really puts Bradshaw in a very difficult situation. In all honesty, he just hasn't had any field position to work with tonight.
But there's another half to go, and the important thing now, don't make a mistake. Get in and regroup, and Noel will take care of that.
Bradshaw to the air on first down. Stallworth is open. That'll be complete, even though his feet did not come in down in bounds. He was hit by the defender the first down out to the 34-yard line. Mike Reinfeldt defensively for Houston, and now Bradshaw will have a little bit of field to work with.
All right, you'll see double coverage here. Again, he splits the double coverage. You'll see a safety man come up. Stallworth cuts off in front of him. Bradshaw puts the ball, but he gets hit just as he catches it. Great concentration by Stallworth, and of course he's having a great year.
And the first pass that he caught tonight.
He'll get a breather, and T. Bell will come in. Ball at the 34-yard line. 1:04 remaining in the half. Bradshaw has 3 timeouts. Franco Harris, inside handoff, gets up close to the 40. Terry obviously just trying to keep the Oilers pass rush honest.
So if you want to know about the Houston defense tonight, A, Stallworth has caught but 1 pass. B, that was Franco Harris's longest gain on the ground.
2nd and 5. Seconds ticking away.
Good rush.
Bradshaw will go down. The arms of Mike Stensrud. Pittsburgh will use a timeout.
You're seeing 2 great football teams tonight. I use the word measuredly. There's another great football team that's lost only 4 games, San Diego. You'll see them next week. Watch them yesterday. Here they were. And here is the remarkable young quarterback, Dan Fouts. And number 18, Charlie Joyner. One of the least publicized but most efficient receivers in football. And then to the man who has captivated all of America with his skills, Johnny Jefferson. Injured yesterday. Apparently able to play in the critical wind-up contest against Denver next Monday night. And finally, again, to Johnny Jefferson. He's always where the ball is, and he is glue-fingered. So next week, with the AFC West title at stake, it's the San Diego Chargers in the playoffs, but Denver must win to be in the playoffs. What a wind-up on Monday Night Football. Frank?
They think they're number 1. They are acting it tonight. Their team is acting that way. 38 seconds remaining in the first half. Oilers on top 7-0. Bradshaw comes back onto the field. T. Bell stays in at wide receiver number 83. John Stallworth obviously shaken up, or he'd be in there. He was hit and hit hard by Mike Reinfeldt when he picked up that first down a few moments ago. 3rd down 9. The ball at the 34-yard line of the Steelers. Jim Smith split to the left. He's number 86. Filled in very well for Lynn Swan earlier in the season. Over the middle. T. Bell drops it. Bobbled the ball, could not hold down. Incomplete. Greg Bingham, who started his 105th consecutive game tonight, in there defensively for Houston.
And what a player Greg Bingham is. You talked about Joe Greenhow to being the spirit of the Steeler defense. Greg Bingham may very well be the spirit of the Houston Oilers defense.
4th down, and with 32 seconds remaining in the half, out comes Craig Colquitt to punt for the Steelers. Richard Ellender drops deep, and you can bet the Oilers will go for the block. They'll try and get to it with only 32 seconds remaining in the half. Colquitt knows that. He's never had one block in 2 years. And he goes out of bounds inside the 23-yard line. Super game thus far in the first half, I think particularly on the part of the Houston Oilers defense. They've been going with a 3-4. They come back with a 4-3 on the pass. Has been very effective.
I love that sign. Now the south side of Chicago is the baddest part of town. You go down there, you better just beware of a man named Leroy Brown. And the Houston defense has been meaner than a junkyard dog.
Pastorini brings them up. He has a 7-0 lead. 26 seconds remaining in the first half. Single setback. Campbell gets the quick toss. Campbell kills the clock again at the 24-yard line. The crowd does not like the actions of Dennis Winston against their former University of Texas All-American. Last year's leading Russian, the MVP. But the second year, he's actually done what no other back has ever done. He's gained over 2,900 yards.
If with 26 seconds left on the clock before that play was run, I don't like that call. Pitching it out, which is a dangerous play to Campbell. He goes out of bounds, stops the clock. Pastorini's better off just to fall on the ball, run it out, and go into the 7-0 lead.
You have the wisdom of a certain Hall of Fame quarterback.
Punch-in for playoff action. Campbell gets the call up the middle, booming ahead, out around the 30-yard line, short of a first down.
They're gonna run it out.
Should be a very interesting second half. The Steelers, the #1 offense in football today, thoroughly thwarted here in the first half. Frustrated is a better word. They are going to come out smoking, one would suspect. There it is, the end of the first half. The Oilers, the favorites of this partisan crowd, go to the direct completion. The one to Kenny Burrow for the touchdown. He drilled it in between two defenders, as fine a pass as you could ever want a quarterback to throw. The question about his arm has been a viral infection that developed off-season. Did not play hard at all in preseason. He got a very late start. Bradshaw is Bradshaw, a gifted athlete. He's a force to himself when he is in there. He was frustrated in the first half. I think he'll probably come back, start throwing the ball short, just to get some completion, get something generating. He was in the hole. That, of course, a credit in great part to Cliff Parsley's punting. The crowd holding up their placards, each and every one of them saying, "Love you blue." And this crowd is an integral part of this game and are happening here in Houston tonight. The battle, of course, for the AFC's Central Division as we look at Matt Barr, who will kick off. Houston 10-4, Pittsburgh 11-3. Houston with a win tonight to move into a tie. Then it will all come down to next week's game. Pittsburgh will be home with Buffalo, and the Houston Oilers will play Philadelphia right here. There's a Steeler fan. He's rather lonesome here tonight. Matt Barr hits it. Carter Hartwig is back there, but this will be Ronnie Coleman. And Coleman out to the 20-yard line. Dwayne Woodruff hustling down there defensively for the Steelers. The stats, they tell the story. Time of possession has been a key factor. You keep the ball away from the #1 offense in the league, and you keep them in the hole, and that's what the Houston Oilers did.
Frank, look at those minimal yards rushing for the Steelers with the best rushing game in football. 21 yards in the whole half with Franco Harris.
And I think that is key, Howard, because Pittsburgh, as great a passing team as they are, they really need to run the ball, and that's what they try to establish first. And Houston has shut off the run tonight. That's upset their offense.
And while we talk about Franco Harris, Earl Campbell, who is trying to regain the NFL rushing lead from O.J. Anderson, who went over 1,500 yards yesterday. Well, Campbell has 37 yards, and I don't quite follow this one. The Oilers take timeout.
Boy, what a way to waste a timeout, Frank.
You know, the timeouts are so valuable, especially in a close game like this. You need them down to the end of the thing. I cannot imagine what caused Dante Pastorini to call a timeout here.
They were short a man on the field till just before they came out of the huddle. I don't understand that at the professional football level. I saw it happen with Homer Rice yesterday against Washington. Washington capitalized with a near touchdown run by Riggins, who followed up with his 1,000th yard when he went in for a touchdown. But it's unforgivable, it seems to me, at the pro football level.
We'll see a lot more of it now because we have talked so much this year about the increased use of the specialty teams. And occasionally you just have somebody over there draws a blank and he doesn't get in there. And you're right, it really penalizes you. That is what I was telling you about a moment ago. Should it come down where both these teams, should Houston win tonight, they come down 12-4 at the end of the season. Well, then it would be decided. It would be the point differential, and coming into tonight's game, Houston was plus 39 over the Oilers.
Pittsburgh was.
Pittsburgh, rather. 1st and 10, 20-yard line. Renfro split to the right. Castor is in there along with Mike Barber. The other receivers. Then this is Earl Campbell. Campbell turns the corner, steps out of bounds out at the 26-yard line. A gain of about 6 or 7 yards. Now 2nd and 4.
Frank, I don't mean to correct you. The 39's a little deceiving. If Houston could beat Pittsburgh by more than 20 points, they would have the point spread going their way, and they would be the division champion, assuming both teams won next week. Jack Pardee has
not correcting me, but you certainly are confusing me.
Well, Jack Pardee has vehemently objected to the point spread notion because Dallas is in, Philadelphia is in, and yet Washington has the same 10-5 record. I think Pardee is right.
2nd and 4. That was Boobie Clark, who was picked up from Cincinnati early in the year as a free agent. He was in the lineup, replacing Tim Wilson. So we have Boobie Clark, number 42. Had some big years with Cincinnati in the early 70s. Hurt his knee and never really rebounded from a great rookie year that he had.
But what a player on the specialty teams. There he is, when healthy, the most resourceful receiver in football.
Third, a long 3. The ball just at the 26-yard line. Campbell gets the call, tries to get outside of Mel Blunt, does so, turns back to the inside, short of the first down, picks up a yard. Robin Cole, the field position they lacked throughout most of the first half. They have the ball close to their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Bradshaw, Swan to the right, Stallworth to the left. Hand off Rocky Bleier, huge hole, and Bleier explodes inside the 35-yard line, all the way down to the 32-yard line, up into there by Mike Reinfeldt.
Critical series for Pittsburgh, as we've mentioned, Fran, because they've got to come away with at least something here, having begun with field position. Look at the first half. 7 possessions in the first half. Only 1 time did they cross midfield. Now, they're getting reasonably deep into Houston territory.
17-yard pickup. They mark it just inside the 35. 1st and 10. Bradshaw, play action. Single coverage on Swan, complete. Swan down to the 21-yard line. Another first down under the coverage of J.C. Wilson.
This is instant death when you cover Lynn Swan man-on-man. There's no underneath coverage, no on-top coverage. He runs a simple curl in. Bradshaw delivers the ball on time. Swan protects it by jumping up. They've got a completion, and they're rolling. They're saying, Houston, you got to take this championship away from us if you want it.
Wonder why Wilson was far off. Well, you have to respect the speed of Swan also. He had no help. 1st and 10, Steelers. Ball at the 21-yard line. Crowd comes to his feet. Franco Harris, line of scrimmage, give him a half a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
They have keyed on Harris brilliantly.
They really have. But interesting to note, the first half, the Steelers had 19 yards net rushing. The first play of the second half, Bleier got 17 yards in 1 carry.
Here comes the switch now with the Oilers. It's been very effective thus far. They bring in Kennard, number 71. They bring in Jesse Baker, the rookie from Jacksonville State, a spectacular speedster, leading the Oilers in sacks with 15 coming into tonight. That's their defense as they anticipate pass. And you saw Larry Brown, the right tackle, try to fold block. And he moved too early, illegal procedure against the Steelers.
Costly mistake.
False start, number 79.
Frank, it was an interesting play. It was an influence play. Brown was pulling down to the left. Bradshaw was going to fake a run to the left to Harrison, roll out to the right. It was a very good call at the time, but there again, no patience.
False start, number 79, offense, 2nd down.
Larry Brown, our referee once again, Jerry Markbright. 2nd down, 15, the ball at the 25-yard line. 7-0, the Oilers. We're in the 3rd quarter with 11:59 remaining. Harris, single setback. In the slot is Rocky Bleier. Draw play. Harris. Small opening. Gets to the 20-yard line. Back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down 10.
Good call, though. They want to come away from this series with at least something. Even a field goal. Get on the board. Back in the ball game.
Benny Cunningham, the big tight end, 6'5", 247-pounder.
And he's worth watching, Giff, right now. As you look at Earl Campbell on the sideline, They want a double Stallworth and Swan. They've been doing it all night. Cunningham becomes the man of the moment.
Stallworth goes out left. He'll collect double coverage. See at the top of your screen, up close is Greg Stenmark, number 27. He'll get help deep from Courier. Bradshaw for Swan. Swan well covered. Bradshaw throws it away.
And he really threw it to the wrong guy. Cunningham did have single coverage. Cunningham was open. Again, he forced it into the double coverage.
He also had Blyer as the safety valve out wide to the left, who could have picked up decent yardage.
All right, we'll watch Cunningham at the bottom of your screen. He'll be running right down the middle of the field. He is open. He beats Vernon Perry. You see, in Ryan Feld, he's wide open. He threw it over to the double coverage. Now,
37-yard attempt, Matt Barr. He's 17 of 26. Well within range. He's hit from 47 yards this year. Rookie from Penn State, 6th-round draft pick. Perfect. The Steelers are on the scoreboard, and tempers are beginning to flare. Jack Lambert and a little rhubarb out there with Guido Merkins. They'll be back in the Astrodome. We're at 7-3 in a moment. Steve number 47 with Carter Hartwig, and this will be Ronnie Coleman from the 2-yard line in the corner. And Coleman out to the 20-yard line, taken there by Larry Anderson, number 30, and the rookie from East Carolina, Zach Valentine. This gave a 1st and a 6th-round draft pick to get from New England. Over the left side, 74. Castor is in motion. Play action by Pastorini. Wide open is Castor. Castor puts his head down, bowls to the 43-yard line, 1st down Oilers.
If there is a criticism to be made of Houston, it's the fact that they have underused Castor this year, because that man is an antelope, and he has a way of getting loose. He's particularly good when they throw to him under coverage, and right there you saw him beat coverage, find himself a loose spot. And once he gets the football, he's terribly dangerous.
Quite a plus, too. He can move in, play that tight end if he has to. Was in the Pro Bowl 3 years with the Jets as a tight end. Before coming here last year. That was his 16th reception of the year. On the 1st down, Pastorini wants Castor again. Nope. And almost picked off by Ron Johnson back there helping J.T. Thomas. And Pastorini was leveled.
And he's down.
Pastorini, who was hurt in the first Pittsburgh game, had to leave that game in the 3rd quarter. Gifford Nielsen finished. He missed all this next game against Kansas City, and let's look at it again.
All right, it's a little play. They fake the run again. This is not a good play for Pastorini. He threw into double coverage here. He had no chance to complete the ball, a better chance to have it intercepted.
That was Steve Furness who hit Pastorini just as he released the ball. It'll be 2nd down and 10, the ball at the 43-yard line.
But Hollywood Dan gets up. I love him. He's got guts.
Renfro, bottom of your screen, 2nd-year man, record holder from TCU. Casper in motion now. Campbell gets the call. And again, Campbell remains bottled up. A gain of 3, 3rd down 7.
There are his games against the Steelers. It's never an easy night for him against the Steelers, Frank. He's got 47 tonight.
He comes out, in comes the passing offensive unit for the Oilers. That means Rob Carpenter in there with Ronnie Coleman. Carpenter 26, Coleman 47. Carpenter, good move on Johnson. Beautiful move by Rob Carpenter against Ron Johnson. He gets the 1st down close to the 40-yard line.
And that was a big 1st down.
Well, here's a great call by Pastorini. You'll see him go back. He's looking down the field. He sets up the screen to Carpenter to the right. But it was well played by the Pittsburgh defenses. You see Johnson come into your picture to make the tackle. Carpenter deserves all the credit in the world. He beat Johnson on a one-on-one confrontation, gets the 1st down.
And they want to come out of this series with something on the board to reestablish.
Carpenter, fine running back. A couple of years ago, before Earl Campbell arrived, he had over 600 yards rushing. And he displayed that running talent a moment ago. On 1st and 10, play action. Pastorini over the middle. This is Renfro. Renfro down to the 15-yard line. And the little youngster out of TCU has the Oilers on the move.
All right, right, here we go again. Same play pass action. He's going to fake the ball to Campbell. Here's Renfro. You see he's going to run a deep break in. Now, the reason he's so open, the linebackers cannot get deep because they have to respect the run of Campbell. All right, here's the fake to Campbell. The linebacker's got to stay in and respect it. You see Lambert. Then Campbell, as you'll see, is still wide open. He can come back to that later in the game. So let's watch for Campbell on that same play.
And again, Pastorini with smoke on that football.
Thing about this Houston team is they don't have widely publicized players. They've got a lot of functional players.
Renfro split to the right. Casper, bottom of your screen, the wing back. This is Campbell. It's down around the 11-yard line for a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Campbell single setback. 2nd and 7. Reverse to Castor. Castor pulls down to the 5-yard line, close to a 1st down.
Now that's the versatility of that man that Frank was talking about. Because with his antelope stride, he can give you that reverse. He is a fine, fine receiver. He can play tight end. He can block. He can do so many things. And I repeat, if there's any criticism of Houston this year, that man has been underused. Again, as Frank said, 3 times a Pro Bowler.
Short by inches.
Oh boy, has Houston reestablished.
And back comes the starting unit offensively for the Oilers. That means Tim Wilson comes back in. He's in there with Earl Campbell.
This will be some kind of collision between 2 of the most physical teams in all of football.
3rd and inches. Campbell. And coming underneath with number 53, Dennis Winston, who replaced Jack Ham, who was injured early. He had x-rays taken of his left foot. Those x-rays were negative, but he is not back in the lineup.
Well, right there is the greatness of this Pittsburgh team that has won so many Super Bowls in recent years. Right there on that play. So now they must settle for a Tony Fritsch field goal.
And the defense, once again, keeps Pittsburgh within striking range. As we look at Pastorini, who tonight has been a great quarterback.
He lost a yard and a half, 4th down, 24-yard. Gifford Nielsen holds. Earlier, they elected to try a fake on a 30-yard attempt, and now Gifford Nielsen saw something he did not like in his offensive set. He calls timeout, and the Houston Oilers are down to 1 timeout. We'll be back in a moment. Oilers called a timeout. They earlier had called one at the very beginning of the half, so they have 1 timeout remaining. Fritsch now set to kick. It will be a 24-yard attempt.
Frank, I don't understand that timeout. It could cost Houston heavily at the end of this game.
Splitting the uprights. Tony Fritsch. And the Oilers extend their lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers. The old soccer player from Austria. He was recruited by the Dallas Cowboys, this little man. And Fran Tarkenton talked with him about his arrival in American football.
When they recruited you in Vienna, what did they tell you about football?
Yeah, they showed me the football and told me kick him. And when I was coming to Dallas, I didn't know it was a sender and a holder and 5 tons come after me.
I love him.
Cool little cookie. As I said earlier, he's won 4 games with his talented foot for the Oilers this season.
Howard, do you think if they'd have told him that they're going to have 5 tons coming after him when he kicked the ball that he'd have come over?
Yeah, I think he would have. Because he's a kind of arrogant guy in a nice way. And he thinks the whole game is made for kicking. Frank knows about that. He used to kick field goals.
Not well enough. Campbell, by the way, is broken. Walter Payton's 1977 most attempts in a single season with 21 tonight. He's up to 377 goes at it. Fritsch will kick off. Larry Anderson is deep for the Steelers. Fritsch not a deep kicker, and Anderson lines up inside his own 10. And he'll have to move up to get this one. At the 12. And Henderson pops through the pileup and gets out over the 40-yard line. The Steelers will have good field position once again.
That's right. Here we go again. And I keep thinking back to that second timeout, Fran. I just don't understand it.
I don't either. Timeouts are very precious things. In a game like this, you know it's going to come down to the last few minutes, and you need every one of those timeouts.
All right, let's see what Bradshaw can do now.
Out to the left. Swan out to the right. Tight end remains Benny Cunningham, 89. The setbacks, Harris, 32. Blyer, 20. Franco Harris. And Harris high steps it down close to the 47-yard line, where it'll be a Pittsburgh Steeler first down. Now they're going to mark it in at the 44.
Now that shows me something, Mr. Bradshaw, because they're dropping the linebackers way deep to take away your outside receivers.
Same thing San Diego did.
They did, and
now they're beginning to adjust.
He's got to throw the ball underneath, just like he did there. I know he's got a big, strong arm. He likes to throw the ball down the field, but a wise old quarterback will take what they give him, and that's what they're giving him now. Take it.
5:18 remaining in the third quarter. Oilers 10, the Steelers 3. First and 10, 44-yard line. Bradshaw moves Harris over and hands off to Blyer. Blyer again with that quick opening hole. Good yardage. Give him 7. It'll be second down and 3. 1,000 yards last week. This is his 7th 1,000-yard season. Ties Jim Brown, 1,000-yard seasons. This is Blyer. Blyer bobbles the football. Was it blown dead?
If it is, it's a big break for the Steelers. That's a very close play.
Elvin Bethea has the football. There's been no indication. Curly Cope hit Rocky Blyer.
They call the ball dead.
Ball dead. It'll be third down at about 2.
All right, let's watch it. We see Blyer coming this way. He's going to get hit right here by a couple of people. One is Curly Cope. And I think he was down. I think it was a good call by the official.
It was a good call.
And with the ball marked at the 37, it'll be third down 3. One would suspect passing situation for Terry Bradshaw. Stallworth goes out left. He collects Greg Stenmark. Top of your screen. Stenmark up close on Stallworth. Toss goes to Harris. Harris gets the first down. It's out of bounds inside the 33. First down, Pittsburgh.
Interesting that they didn't call the pass again. That's the second time in this game we've had that situation, Fran.
That shows you that he's got a lot of confidence in his running game. When you can go 3rd and 4 and pitch out to your fullback and he gets the first down rather comfortably for you.
Franco Harris, 23 yards. Incredibly low, isn't it?
It is.
4th leading rusher of all time now. He passed Joe Perry this year. Closing in on Jimmy Taylor. We needed 194 to replace Jimmy Taylor as the 3rd all-time rusher in this game. Play action. Ball well hidden. And it was in the arms of Washington. Bobbled by Stallworth and taken at the 15-yard line by Lynn Swan. Good move by Bradshaw to get away from Ted Washington. Stallworth bobbled it. Lynn Swan caught it. First down, Pittsburgh.
Well, he just threw it up for grabs. That's the new Dallas technique, as they evidenced against Philadelphia last Saturday.
He shows his great athletic ability and strength, getting away from the... He just threw it up. Bad throw by Bradshaw. This is just lucky. Stallworth had it, then Swan gets it. They had double luck that time.
Told you Swan's resourceful.
13-yard line. First down, Steelers. They're down 10-3. Swan, and this is Cunningham in the end zone, a one that he could have caught.
He should have caught.
Vernon Perry was battling with him.
And in fairness to Cunningham, as we watch him come off the line, you'll see a defensive safety man. We'll get his number in a minute. It might be Vernon Perry cutting right in front of him, between him and the ball. He didn't get a good look at the ball late. As you see right there, he got blinded. And that's a tough catch. It's a tough catch. It really is.
I've got to tell you this about Vernon Perry, the kid from Canada. Frank told you about him earlier. Look at him again.
Here you go. Bradshaw throws the ball perfectly. But right there, you'll see the defensive back come in and block his vision to the ball at the last minute. Made it a very difficult catch.
Perry took a lot of garbage earlier in the year.
Second and 10. Both backs out of the backfield. Bradshaw has Swan touchdown, and so easy.
He's throwing this.
Flag is down.
You got a flag. It's holding.
They have a holding, and it goes against the Steelers.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh. You wonder why coaches have their problems.
Nobody ever said it's going to be easy, Chuck.
No. But it hurts.
It does hurt.
Holding number 79, offense, second down.
Larry Brown, the right tackle, holding. Down remains the same. Second down, 20, but the ball is placed inside the 24.
Watch 79 at the bottom of your screen. I guess he's got his hand. We cannot see his hands there. I'm sure the official who was right on it made the correct call.
That flag came so late. After the ball was almost in Swan's arms. Second and 20. He had some time. A good defensive coverage on the part of the Oilers once again.
He wisely threw that one away. He looked first right, then he looked left, then he looked center, then threw left and threw it away. Or maybe left center.
But, you know, there again, the defensive backs and linebackers were 20 yards deep down the field. You've got to throw underneath that coverage. Very difficult to get into the 20-yard zone down there.
Now he has a different problem. He could have attempted half of it there. Now he has a third and 20. Three wide receivers are in. Smith comes in. 86. Swan, of course, 88. And Stallworth, 82. Going for Smith. And Smith well covered back there. Greg Stenmark, and Bill Courier. Perfect position defensively.
Well, it's critical they get something on the ball. The pom-poms waving again. The crowd so much a part of this game. And I think, in retrospect, Fran, you're absolutely right. Should have gone underneath, picked up some yardage, made the field goal an easier try.
The rookie from Penn State, Matt Barr, 41-yard attempt, holding Craig Colquitt.
No good.
Off to the right. And the Oilers will have the football at the 23-yard line. And the crowd, well, they kind of like it.
Commanding. And it's easy to sit up here and second guess. But Pittsburgh is making the same mistakes tonight that they made against San Diego when the Chargers killed them. There's the sign that says it all, really. Had Terry thrown under that deep coverage, they would have been close enough to have gotten the field goal at the very least. Do you agree, Fran?
I agree.
Oilers at their 37-yard line, first down. Campbell, upended. Good defensive move there. Jack Lambert.
That's like the night Oakland beat Houston here 34-0. And the man gave the half victory sign, and Dan DeRue said, Howard, he means win number one.
He ran a sprint instead of going for the long distance of the 4 quarters of the game.
I'll tell you, there have been 50 difficult yards for Earl Campbell.
They really have.
Against the league's leading defense against the rush. But he is providing a lot more attention than you will see. They are holding Lambert in there to watch him very carefully, and when Pastorini completes the ball, it's usually after a fake to Campbell. This is Tim Wilson with a big hole. And Wilson,
he may have
it's out close to a first down. Lauren Taves, who was in there in relief of Robin Cole defensively.
Frankie's got it.
And we got a man injured on the play.
That's some of the best small college football teams I have ever seen, and some of the great pros. Remember Bill Leckenby, Frank? Take over.
Castor in motion. Campbell gets the call. Campbell, this time, gets into Steeler territory. Nifty pickup of 6. It'll be second down and 4. In their tight end is the big one, Conrad Rucker from Southern University. He's a 260-pound tight end. And he's in there for the Oilers. The ball at the Steelers' 47-yard line. Earl Campbell. Campbell short of the first down, I believe. Hit hard, driven back.
He never quits.
He is really something.
They hit him back. Bob Euchre's here. Good to see you, Bobby.
That's not Bob Uecker, Howard. That's Santa Claus.
No, that's Bob Uecker.
Speaking of the import of tonight's game, next week, San Diego and Denver. Winner of that game will be the Western Division champion of the AFC. We'll be there on Monday night. Meanwhile, our congratulations to Don Shula, the Miami Dolphins. Of course, the Los Angeles Rams clinched their division yesterday in the NFC. Third, less than a yard. Mike Barber back in there, as you can see. Two tight ends. Campbell bowling forward, first down.
He's got it. He's got it.
Right behind Leon Gray, Howard.
That had to be Houston's best trade ever, from Houston's viewpoint, getting Leon Gray. I will never understand, Frank, why New England traded Gray away.
For a first and a 6th-round draft pick.
Another trade they made that wasn't bad when they traded to Tampa Bay. They traded Jimmy Giles and 3 draft choices for the right to draft number 34 Earl Campbell. If you look at Leon Gray.
What a trade that was.
Oilers 10-3 here in the 4th quarter. First down, 41-yard line. This is Tim Wilson. Wilson with a good move of his own. Racing with Mel Blount for a 4-yard pickup.
I'll tell you, you talked about Pastorini, Fran, and he calls his own game. He is really moving this ball club.
He's playing as good a game as you could ask a quarterback to play against a great, truly great defense.
They like it wide open. They like it wheeling and dealing. Going for Barber, and almost picked off by Mel Blount, and a flag is down. Kenny Burrow was bumped around there.
And I think it's a good call, Frank. And
I thought Blount pushed him off.
I did too. I think it's a good call.
It'll be pass interference, and it will be against the Steelers.
So the Steelers get into deeper and deeper trouble. But remember, Houston.
Pass interference, number 47, defense, first down.
Mel Blount, over-aggressive with Kenny Burrow.
Here's Kenny Burrow. They had a blitz zone. He's trying to get inside on Blount. Blount is pushing him away, but Burrow also pushed Blount. But I think it's a good call.
I do, too. Remember, Frank, Houston must win by 20 points or more. And both teams must win next week if Houston is to win the division.
Of course, because Houston came into tonight down 39 points in the tiebreaker should the two teams end in a tie. Rob Carpenter gets the call. Carpenter piled up, and not until he gets forward for 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7. Banaszak in there on the stop defensively for the Steelers.
Now let me make this clear. In the Alfred Einstein method of computation that dominates the NFL playoff system, should Houston win tonight, win next week, Pittsburgh lose, Houston wins the division.
If they win by 20.
And vice versa, it's also true. Now you're all clear on that, right?
I got
2nd and 7. 22-yard line. Rob Carpenter again runs into Jack Lambert. Not until he gets inside the 20-yard line to the 19, short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 3. You know, it is complex, and we joke about it, kid about it. But I'll tell you what it's done. It's kept tremendous fan interest around the country. How many teams did we count today that are still involved in playoff activities?
13. We counted 13 out of 28.
Yeah, but did I say Alfred? I meant Albert.
Well, there might have been an Alfred.
No, it's Albert.
I was going to correct you, Howard, but I'm glad you corrected yourself there.
2 tight ends are in. That means the big man, Conrad Rucker, number 87, is in there with Mike Barber. Tim Wilson, Earl Campbell. 3rd down. Call it about 2.5.
Oh.
Campbell gets the first down, bobbles the ball, but an Oiler's there.
Let's see what the mark here is going to be interesting.
But they don't have the first down.
Not with the mark as it is now. Carpenter recovered the fumble, and where he recovered it is short of the first down. They had the first down made.
Campbell tossed a shoe there.
All right, here it is. It's a power play off the left side. You got blocking by Wilson there. Campbell is going to get the first down. He gets turned sideways, but still has power to get it. He fumbles going down. Picked up by Carpenter. If he could have just stayed still, instead of his momentum taking him back, he'd have had the first down. Field goal try by Frisch.
Oh, boy, what a 3 points this is.
Good save by Carpenter, however. Important 3 points. Fritsch, 34-yard attempt. Gifford Nielsen holding, short yardage. This one will be good. So the Oilers have extended their lead. 13-3, 11-10 remaining in the game, and we'll be back in the Astrodome in just a moment.
Houston, Texas, the 5th city in America.
Stallworth goes left. Swan is right. 11:03 remaining in the game. Bradshaw. Stallworth is open. Diving catch for a gain of about 8. Second and 2. Ball at the 27-yard line. Stallworth goes left. Swan goes right. Blyer gets the call, and Blyer out close to a first down.
I can't believe there are no flags then. The right side of the Houston team jumped off sides, but no flags. Am I seeing things?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I saw the right side jump off sides. 2 people.
Going to mark this just a little short of what appears to be a first down, and yet they're going to bring the markers in.
LC.
No, they will not bring the markers in. Short of a first down by inches. Third down.
10:05 and counting down. Time begins to become an element, because Pittsburgh needs 2 scores, not 1.
Pittsburgh, short yardage offense, the 2 tight ends in. Grossman motion. Harris the call.
I don't think so. It's
That
close.
will depend on where they mark it. I think he might give it to them. The head linesman indicating that it's over the 30.
Recorded 2 sacks in the game.
There's only 2 of the year.
First and 10, the Steelers. Bradshaw footing backs to the right, comes back against the grain, incomplete to Cunningham, and hustling in there on the blitz, Robert Brazil, and Houston now is sensing that Bradshaw is going to keep it in the air. They're beginning to come with the blitz on the 3-4, and then when they know it's sure pass, they bring in their 4-man front. That's what's in there now.
With their normally great ground game.
Swan and Stallworth, both on the right side, top of your screen. Bradshaw, both backs in the pattern. He hits Franco Harris, and Franco Harris taken on a nifty tackle by Art Stringer, and you can see why the Oilers missed Stringer in the early going. He's a good pass defense linebacker.
He really is. He's all over the field, but that's why Bradshaw made a mistake when they could have gotten in closer for the second field goal attempt that would have kept them more in the ball game. You just saw Art Stringer.
Third down, a long 3. The ball inside the 37-yard line. Swan goes right. Stallworth is left. 4 down linemen for the Oilers. He'll get the first down, Bradshaw. And he gets inside the 45, down to the 43-yard line.
Big play.
It really is a big play, and he shows that he can run, although he doesn't run as much as he used to. And I'm going back to as we watch Bradshaw here, he's going to go back to pass. He's getting a lot of pressure. This Houston all the pass rush has been good tonight. He moves around. He says, I've got to take charge and get the first down myself, and he does. And he goes up the field for a big gain and a big first down for the Steelers. And I go back to the Philadelphia-Dallas game last Saturday. The biggest play in the game was Staubach running for a first down on 3rd and 12.
Right. And boy, does Pittsburgh miss Cole, because Bethea has had a big night.
Bradshaw brings them up, 43-yard line. Gain of 20 yards by Bradshaw in that scramble. Here comes Franco Harris. Harris with a good footwork down the sideline. Franco Harris breaks it off to the 10-yard line. They'll mark it somewhere around the 8, first down Pittsburgh.
This is why Pittsburgh is a great football team. You can talk about who's a great team, who isn't, But this team, with its resiliency, with its persistency, look at it again.
All right, watch Franco Harris here. Number 3 takes a pitch. Watch him use his blocker, Larry Brown, there. Didn't really need the blocker. Let him screen him off. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another tackle. Goes down the field. You talk about all the great backs that have played the last few years. This guy here has, I think, been the greatest of them all because he's been consistently good for the last 8 years. He's been a pro with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We still have 7 minutes left to play.
First and goal.
From Pittsburgh's point of view, they must get the touch.
Reverse to Swan. Houston not fooled.
What a
Swan
play!
with a good move. Touchdown.
What a
Lynn
play!
Swan. He should never have made it into the
What
end
a
zone.
play!
How about that Swanee? Oh!
We just saw Franco Harris, one of the truly great backs of the last 8 years. We just saw another one, Lynn Swan. He's been maybe the best wide receiver over the past 6 or 7 years. He made a play that was incredible.
He really
Watch this. You watch the depth of the Houston Oilers defense. They've got depth on him. That's very difficult for the reverse. He cuts back, leaves 4 guys in the lurch, makes it in the end zone. Here he comes again, another look. What a player. I've seen him do things that I couldn't believe. This is another one, running the ball from the reverse.
Pretty heady call down there, too, because a reverse like that can also get you in trouble.
Swanee, how I love you, how I love you.
Matt Barr for the conversion. And the Steelers draw close. They're down by 3 with 6:46 remaining in the game. Swan scoring from 9 yards out.
How many
Coleman, number 47, back there with Carter Hartwig, number 36. 6:46 remaining in the game. Barr hangs it high. Carter Hartwig, the rookie from USC. And Hartwig out over the 30-yard line. Good field position for the Oilers.
Good run back. But I've got to tell you, Fran, I've been 27 years in this business. I know of no athlete more graceful, more exactly right in terms of meeting crisis situations than Lynn Swan. He is a truly remarkable athlete.
He really is. That's all he really is.
Where it is,
Taking a little
he has a
nap.
bruise on the back. He was being treated there by the trainers for the Steelers. He'll be back in the game. Don't worry about it, Bernadette. Tim Wilson, left side. Now Wilson. Gain of 3.5 yards. It'll be second down and 7.
There's Swanee. And I'm sorry you mentioned Bernadette because Lynn doesn't particularly like your relationship with her. Lynn is married to a perfectly beautiful girl. I, of course, was kidding. Dennis Lewin, our producer, is worried that someone would misunderstand.
Seconds ticking away. Inside 6 minutes now. Second down, 7. Campbell. And Dennis Winston takes Campbell out of bounds. But Campbell is all the way down inside the 40-yard line. And Winston is getting jostled there in front of the Houston Oilers bench. Cooler heads prevailing, however.
And you ask what makes great players great. Great players make great plays. We saw Franco Harris make a great run. We saw Swan make the run for the touchdown. And now here is Earl Campbell, the dominant running back in the game today, making an incredible run. Breaks 2 tackles. One of them
ran right through Lambert.
He really did. Goes down the field for a big gain. Established field position and gets Houston in reasonable territory to score.
But what a great block by Mike Barber, who earlier looked like he might be out of the game with an injury. Folks, you're seeing football at its very best tonight.
Campbell gets inside the 35. First down, Oilers.
And Earl Campbell, guys, now has 95 yards on the night.
If he can make it, it'll be his 6th consecutive 100-yard game. Caster in motion. Tim Wilson spots the hole and cuts back. Beautiful piece of running by Wilson. Down to the 27-yard line. Gain of 8. 2nd and 2. Lambert finally on the stop, but that was a beautiful piece of running on Wilson's part. He saw that hole inside, cut it back against the grain. Good yardage.
You're right, Frank, but they want a touch. A field goal won't clinch it. 5:20 left, counting down. A lot of time.
Lambert looks to the sideline, picks up the defense, steps in the huddle, barks it out. 2nd and 2. Ball at the 27. Campbell ran into Jack Lambert. He may have bowled far enough to get the first down. He had to get just inside the 25.
There you see it counting down. Time ever more important.
And it really is, Howard. And also what's important that Houston, for Houston's sake, they need a touchdown here. A field goal only gets the 6-point spread. They need to be thinking touchdown. And right now, first down.
It's the point I made a moment ago, Fran. Field goal won't save the game. Should
Rucker,
Pittsburgh be able to come back?
Short of a first down by about a foot. Rucker, you saw a moment ago, came from the sidelines, had a word with Pastorini. This will be the call from the bench.
They've been going left in this situation. Let's see if they do again.
Campbell hurdles over the top. First down.
He got it.
Ball came loose, but I think it has been blown dead. He has the first down at the 24.
As Earl Campbell gets closer to 100 yards. Howard or Frank, do you know who the last back was to get 100 yards against the Steelers? And I'll give you a hint. He played for the Los Angeles Rams. It was in the 11th game a year ago.
Yeah. McCutcheon.
That was close. Frank, you got a guess? Capoletti.
You're kidding.
Don Capoletti was the last guy to gain 100 yards against the Steelers.
Speaking of trivia, there have been only 15 backs since 1970 to get 100-yard games against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wait a minute. We did that game at the Coliseum.
I think you did. I was shoveling snow in Minnesota at the time.
First down. The ball is at the 24-yard line. Campbell again. Good block. Wilson again. And Campbell to the 20-yard line. He has his 100 yards.
That's his 10th 100-yard game this season.
Oh.
He is a truly, well, you know, you look at him, just a remarkable player.
And his first ever against the Steelers.
And he is a superstar in every regard. He is a great team player, as all true superstars are, as you see the graphic. Unbelievable. What a player. We are seeing so many great players here tonight.
And we said earlier on in the telecast that as far as Monday Night Football is concerned, or any football is concerned, where Earl Campbell's involved, the past is not prologue.
2nd down, 6. Campbell with a gain of 4. Cracking the 100-yard mark. Pastorini letting the clock run down.
Yeah, that's good. That's smart, Dante.
Using every possible second he can. He has a 3-point lead. Rob Carpenter. And Carpenter puts on a show. He's close to a first down, and a flag is down. Oh, that hurts. Against the Steelers' face mask.
Oh, boy. The Houston Oilers are going to win this football game. Not enough points, perhaps, to win the division title. Not perhaps, but certainly. But what a football game you are seeing.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, number 58, defense.
Lambert, the guilty Steeler.
And the clock shows 2:20, and Dante Pastorini really showed me his maturity by letting that clock go down to 1 second before he snapped the football. That's good quarterbacking.
Dante is trying to get the officials to start the clock, which he will not do. First and goal. 2:20 on the clock. Burrow goes left. Renfro right. Single setback Campbell. Campbell surges forward. And the flag is down. Whether it was dropped by an official or not, I don't know. But for
God bless Mama Campbell.
Offsides Pittsburgh.
Offside Pittsburgh. That was the flag far across the field. Noel didn't see it either. What's happening here?
That man will never quit. Look at him. Look at the jut of the chin. The jaw.
Offside, number 47, defense. First down.
Defensively, that was Mel Blunt who had lined up offside.
You think penalties haven't entered into this game? Look at that graphic. And this crowd, they are absolutely berserk.
First and goal, Oilers at the 4-yard line of the Steelers. Oilers with the win tonight will move into a tie with the Pittsburgh Steelers at 11-3, and they'll have to hope they can beat Philadelphia next week and hope that Buffalo can upset the Steelers. Then they would be the division champions.
He got it.
Carpenter, an easy sprint to the end zone. That iced it.
Look at them. Look at that crowd.
It's a full house backfield. He hands off to Carpenter. Watch Earl Campbell now, see if he blocks. He does block. He does block. Not only does he run, but he blocks. What a team player.
This crowd having a ball tonight is all you heard down here for the past 2 days that we've been here. Prior to that, all week, I'm sure.
And all the talk of Pastorini and Campbell, remember the jobs done by the functional players tonight. Tim Wilson, Carpenter, all of them. So tremendous.
Tony Fritsch.
Stringer, Brazil, Bingham.
And Fritsch drills it through. And the Oilers increase their lead. We'll be back in the Astrodome in just a moment. Wild crowd reaction. Reached that touchdown a moment ago by Ronnie Coleman. Tony Fritsch set now to kick. Larry Anderson is deep. There's Anderson, averaging a little over 21 yards an attempt. Tony Fritsch feeling pretty good about his night thus far, and well he should. Anderson will take it at the 8. And Anderson out over the 25 to the 28. You know, we watched this crowd, but earlier on, Fran and Howard and I were deeply touched at the beginning of the game when Sergeant David Walker, one of the Marines, one of the hostages that was released early on in the Iranian crisis, was greeted here, a standing ovation, and then minutes of silent prayer for the hostage that remain. It's a good crowd, Howard. They have the compassion that we all feel, and they also have the excitement that we've also seen generated and expressed here this evening. 2-minute warning. We'll be back in the Astrodome in just a moment.
At Georgia Pacific, it was here in the great Northwest that we first learned to make our forests yield even more by turning wood lignins into chemicals. Today, we've grown in the chemical business and into oil for petrochemicals, too. So what started by getting more out of every tree has taken us out here, where there isn't a tree in sight. Georgia Pacific. Oil, gas, coal, gypsum, timber, and the skill to manage them.
This is the 4.1-liter Buick Electra, America's first and only traditional luxury car with a V6 engine, standard. It's very responsive, yet few cars go further on a tank of gas. Still, some might question the wisdom of putting a V6 engine in a full-size luxury car. Well, when you consider that for every one of these, you part with one of these and then some, the logic is crystal clear.
The 4.1-liter Electra. Buy or lease one at your Buick dealer.
This was the scene that Frank so beautifully referred to before the game even started. Sergeant David Walker, one of the 13 released hostages, 50 of them that we're still praying for. And that's the great thing about this night, because as great as this game has been, as enthusiastic as the fans have been, they've had a sense of balance.
On 1st and 10, down 20 to 10. Bradshaw back, looking. Cunningham is there. Has the first down. Steps out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
And that's exactly why ABC News continues with its very special coverage of the Iranian crisis. Day 37. And you'll see that special immediately following your late local news. But I must say, Frank, you've been here. These people of Houston, Texas have shown us more class, more a sense of where it's at, and yet retain their enthusiasm for the escape that football can provide than I've ever seen in my life.
Again on 1st down. Franco Harris this time. Harris will sprint to the sidelines. He does not get there. The clock continues to move. The Steelers will have to use a timeout if they want to stop it. They're in their hurry-up offense. The Oilers, quite frankly, would have liked to have got the football back. They would have liked to have hung up another 10 points if they could, impossible as that might seem, because, again, the points could quite possibly come into determining the division winner after next Sunday's games. Bradshaw, he's all alone. Stallworth.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
My goodness.
They don't quit.
And you're going to see an onside kick.
They will never quit. This is no great football teams. Don't give me that. Pittsburgh is a great football team.
This is incredible. Bradshaw is just fighting back, fighting back. He avoids the rush. He just kind of throws it up for grabs. And Stallworth gets himself in position to catch the ball. Unbelievable.
His 8th touchdown, and here is the situation. There's 1:18 remaining on the clock. And if we watch Stallworth, the Steelers have 3 timeouts. They'd like to get this game tied up, and they could do so quite easily if they could get an onside kick, and that's what you're going to see on the kickoff.
Well, that's not so easy, Frank, but I'll tell you, I respect those men of Pittsburgh.
Matt Barr. The Steelers are within 3.
All right, we had a flag there, and that's going to be against the Oilers, and that could go on the kickoff. Could be a 15-yard penalty.
And that means if they recovered an onside kick, they would be recovering it an additional 15 yards downfield.
They recovered on the Houston side of the field, and that's got to be the call.
Matt Barr was run into by J.C. Wilson.
Running into the kicker, number 33, and forced down the kickoff. The point is good.
J.C. Wilson running in to the kicker.
You'll watch here from the right side. You'll see 33 come in. The kick is away, and watch this. Uncalled for. He hit him a pretty good lick and pushed him down, and now he's put his team in a pretty bad position. There's Stallworth, who just made a big play.
You hate to accuse Matt Barr of maybe being a little dramatic there, but I'm not sure that he was pushed that hard. In any event, the penalty is assessed.
And they'll kick the ball from the 50-yard line.
And Houston will move up their sure-handed people.
You folks have seen a lot of football this year. But tonight, on Monday Night Football, you've seen 2 exceptional football teams. One of them, the Steelers, quite possibly a great football team.
Now, wait a minute. They're making a 5-yard penalty.
Not a flagrant violation.
That's right. So you're right, Frank. We'll give you that. But in the meantime, look at Chuck Noll. A smile on his face. Or is it a sneer?
This ball now has to travel 10 yards before the Steelers can recover it. 1:18 remaining. Steelers have 3 timeouts.
Good kick.
Oh, and they got it. There is no question.
They have got it.
That was beautifully done. It was Larry Anderson.
No.
They're saying that he touched it before it traveled 10. I don't believe so.
I believe so. I think they're right.
How about you, Giff? I don't believe so either. I'd like to see that again, please, fellas. I think it was a wonderfully executed onside kick.
We were positioned right on the 50-yard line, and it certainly looked as though that ball had traveled from the 40 beyond the 50 before it was taken by Larry Anderson.
All it had to do was hit the 50-yard line, just break the plane. I want to see this again.
There is a short free kick foul. The ball was illegally touched before it went 10 yards. Re-kick the ball.
I think they made a good call. Let's watch it.
Must travel 10 before a Steeler can touch it.
It traveled 10. It traveled 10. It did.
I was wrong.
It
Look
traveled
at it
10.
again. A missed call.
And there's the referee right on it. I don't understand.
What a critical
He is
miss.
right on it. The ball is easily over the line. I'll tell you, folks.
Close call, but I think you can see, unfortunately, we can see a little better than they can, and as an afterthought.
Well, the official was in good position to call it. He was right there in front of the ball.
Now,
well, we'll certainly see it again.
Was the Steelers player's body not over the plane? Let's look at that.
All has to be over is the ball, Howard. That's all that's got to be over. And that ball is over the plane.
It was, and he was over the plane, and it's a missed call. Too bad.
Well, unfortunately, missed calls cost football games. That's the human part of the game, and we don't blame the officials. They got a tough job out there.
Excuse me a second. Matt Barr did a fantastic job. You know, they practice this. This isn't something they don't work on. That ball was absolutely dead perfect.
It really was. It really was.
Can it happen again?
And you hate to see it come down to that in such a well-played football game as we have had here tonight. It's an unfortunate situation that couldn't be helped.
We'll see it again. And Mike Barber, again, they had all their short-handed folks up there, and Barber comes up with it. He did not travel 10. The Steelers could not fall on it. Oilers football, 1:16 remaining in the game.
Well, Frank, I think to put things in perspective tonight, this is the Houston Oilers night. They're probably going to win the football game. But you're looking at the defending world champions. If these two teams meet again, it'll be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the Steelers will have their great fans behind them. That team out there in those yellow gold pants are still the team to beat.
And next Monday night, we'll be in San Diego. San Diego and Denver deciding the AFC Western Division title. An interesting sidelight to that game. Dan Fouts, the quarterback of the Chargers, if he can pass for 156 yards, he's going to break a record of yardage in one season, breaking Joe Namath. I was going to say that. Joe Namath's record of 4,007. What a year he's had. Campbell gets the call. Steelers will stop the clock with one of their timeouts. They have 3. They now have 2. Campbell picks up 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9. 1:09 on the clock. Pastorini has led the Houston Oilers to a tie with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They will both be 11 and 4. 2nd down, 9. Steelers have 2 more timeouts. Campbell single setback. They just call the play in the huddle, and then everybody kind of reminds Campbell he doesn't need it. Be sure and hold on it because they'll try to strip it. Not again called.
As Pittsburgh calls the timeout, of course, for Pittsburgh to have the home field advantage, they've got to defeat the Buffalo Bills next week. And nothing's sure, but they certainly will be favored to do it.
A tough Philadelphia team, but Pittsburgh still has the net point spread, so they will be the division champion.
That's right, if they both win.
What's sad about this, if they both win, what's sad about this is that missed call by the official, which we clearly saw, Pittsburgh could have probably easily have gotten into tie position.
Well, Howard, it tarnishes the victory for the Oilers. Now,
that's what's sad about it, because they played a brilliant game.
They played a brilliant game, but it does tarnish. And we have to look at the officials. They're human. They make mistakes. Acknowledge so. It's not an easy job out there. The man made an honest mistake, but a mistake he did make.
That was a tough call to make. Our producer in the truck said, I don't think it was travel 10 yards. We had a chance to think about it. We looked at it carefully, and it did.
I didn't think so either, but clearly it did.
3rd down. Steelers can stop it one more time. 1:03 remaining.
And Pittsburgh's probably going to get the ball back again. And they're never out of it, as we have seen tonight.
Campbell. Campbell short of the 1st down, so it'll be 4th down and a flag is down.
Probably a clipping, Frank. And Dandy, wherever you are, don't start singing yet.
Illegal use of hands against the Oilers. Going dandy wherever he is, he's singing.
No, the party is not yet over.
It is not at all.
Illegal use of hands indicated preliminarily against the Houston Oilers.
With apologies possibly to San Diego, I think we're seeing the two best teams in football tonight. They really have been something.
You may be right, but there is still
Illegal
San
use of
Diego.
hands, number 55, offense, third down.
Karl Mark, center. We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
Channel 4 in the city of champions, Pittsburgh.
54 seconds. The Steelers have one timeout. Third down, 16. Pastorini, almost for certain, will give the ball to Campbell unless he sneaks it himself. We would like to see Campbell run around a little bit. Motion man is Mike Renfro. Oh! Campbell back to the 43-yard line where it'll be fourth down, and Pittsburgh stops it for the final time. And 48 seconds, they'll get the football back. The clock also will be stopped on the change of teams following the punt. Thank our spotter, Steve Bazika, as usual, our statistician, research man, Jerry Klein. And also tell you the executive producer of ABC Sports is Bryn Arledge. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football produced by Dennis Lewin, directed by Chet Forty. Technical director Bill Morris, associate director Rob Biner, technical manager Coach Coltrane, unit manager Ralph Girard.
So often, the event does not fulfill the anticipation. I suggest it did tonight. Two really exceptional football teams.
It really,
that man not quitting yet.
It really did, Howard. And as we have this break in the action here, this is my last time to work with you and Frank during the regular season this year. And let me thank you and Frank and Chet Forty and Dennis Lewin and all the other people here at ABC for the help you've given this little old rookie this year.
Wait a minute, you're not done yet. You'll be with us for the Pro Bowl.
Well, I know, but that's next year.
Parsley will punt. T-Bell standing at the 9-yard line. Again, 48 seconds and the clock will stop when the teams change after the punt. 2017, the Oilers over the Steelers. Oh, and I think Parsley's caught another beauty. The 8-yard line, Pittsburgh has no timeouts. They have to go 92 yards.
Well, I'll tell you.
Or somewhere in that area to get a field goal to tie it up. Over 55,000. That's a record for the Houston Oilers. That turnout tonight. Incomplete. 34 seconds. Franco Harris did not hold on to it.
And Franco had a lot of open yardage to get. A lot. Look at it. Chagrin written in the body.
Although it's a shot in the dark here, about the only chance Bradshaw has is to throw it deep down the field into the coverage of the Houston Oilers and hope for a tip here or a tip there or a miracle. And as commonly referred to, a Hail Mary. I saw Staubach against the Vikings some years ago in a playoff game hit a Hail Mary to Drew Pearson that we didn't believe.
I remember it well. You fighting with the officials.
That's right.
Starworth goes left. Swan goes right. Rocky Bleier, and he wanted to run before he caught it. And even the old pros do it.
Why? Because they're human.
Good point, Howard.
Reminding you one more time, immediately following your local newscast, ABC special report on the Iranian crisis.
I would think at this play, Bradshaw will go back. He needs to buy himself as much time as he can. And I would not be surprised to see him go back in the pocket, scramble out to either the right or the left, and give his receivers time to get deep down the field and then throw the ball. Of course, Bradshaw's got the capability to throw the ball 75 yards down the field. Not many people can throw it that far.
Third down coming up, 28 seconds. Again, the Steelers have no timeouts. No flags. Well, he's back onside. Almost picked off. Almost picked off by Vernon Perry, who's been all over the field tonight. He's been at a lot of single coverage, and when he has been beaten, he has been very close.
I mentioned earlier, or at least I started to, that Vernon Perry, he came down from Canada. It's his first year in the NFL. Took a lot of garbage from broadcasters, from the press, early on. They said he couldn't do it. But in the later games, he has come on to be everything that Bum Phillips expected him to be. He's been a superb defensive back all over the field, a nose for the football.
22 seconds, 4th down. And Bradshaw gets out of the end zone, saves the safety. And oh so close to a two-pointer. Jesse Baker, a rookie from Jacksonville State, has been an outstanding pass rusher all year for the Oilers, was the one who captured Bradshaw.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have seen, as you look at that crowd, in every respect, the best that the National Football League has to offer. Howard, it's been a great football game.
It really has, and I think that, to put it in perspective, these two teams have set a standard for NFL teams to play to. I think at the same time, these fans have set a standard for the fans in all the league cities to react to.
You're right. Ball at the 2-yard line. The clock is stopped as they change offensive and defensive units. 15 seconds remaining.
All right, Pastorini's got the choice to fall on the ball and win the game, or hand the ball and maybe get another touchdown.
Oh, he'll fall on it.
I'd like to see him to fall on the ball. I really would. It would be the last thing to do. It really is the thing to do.
This will be victory number 11. That's the most for the Houston Oilers since 1962.
They're going to go for it, Howard.
I hope not.
I hope not, but they are.
Wilson. He's short.
He didn't get over.
That will be the game.
Don't call timeout. Don't call timeout. Dodgy, don't do it. No!
He's still thinking of those net points, and he probably wanted to talk it over. I didn't think he would do it.
No,